They always said she had the kind of voice that made you stop what you were doing. Not because it was loud, because it was true. Her name was Elena. And if you're from a small town just outside of Charleston, you knew her. Maybe not directly, maybe not intimately, but you heard the stories. And you definitely remember the day she disappeared. That's how this story starts. Not with love, not with blood, but with silence. Because Elena wasn't just taken from us. She was erased. I was 19 when it happened. We had just started our second year at Wilmington College, this small, historic campus surrounded by pine trees and myths. She was majoring in American Lit. Always had her nose in a battered copy of Sylvia Plath or Baldwin. The kind of girl who knew how to disappear into her own mind and take you with her. She was my best friend. And maybe more if we ever had the guts to say it. The last time I saw her, she was wearing her oversized red flannel, the one that made her look like fall. She gave me her half of a sandwich and said, "I think someone's watching me." I laughed. Because what else do you do when someone says that? You assume they're being dramatic. You assume it's stress. You never assume it's real. But she meant it. Because 2 nights later she was gone. No note. No phone calls. Just nothing. At first the police brushed it off. College girls disappear all the time, they said. Maybe she went home. Maybe she needed space. Maybe it was a breakup. But I knew. I knew something was wrong. You don't just vanish without a trace. Not when your books are still open, your glasses still on the desk, and your cat's still hungry. I tried everything. Flyers. Emails. I even called news stations. No one cared. Not until the rumors started. There were whispers about a professor. A visiting scholar from New York. Late-night meetings in his office. Grades mysteriously changing. But no one would say his name. Not out loud. Because people like him, charming, powerful, connected, they don't just survive stories like this. They erase them. So I waited. And in that waiting I changed. I stopped laughing. Stopped eating. Started listening instead. Because if Elena was gone, someone knew why. Someone saw something. Took months. But slowly things unraveled. A TA came forward quietly. Said she heard yelling from the English building the night Elena disappeared. Said she saw a shadow moving toward the woods. The dean dismissed it. Called it circumstantial. They were looking into it. But I wasn't waiting anymore. So I started digging. I broke into his office one night. Not proud of it. But grief makes you brave. Grief makes you wild. There was a locked drawer. I found a way in. Inside. Letters. Photos. 1 USB drive. And 1 single gold necklace. The one I gave Elena on her birthday. He kept it. Like a trophy. I didn't go to the police. I knew better. I went to her mother. We sat in silence for what felt like an eternity. Then I showed her everything. She didn't cry. She didn't scream. She just whispered, "Make them remember her." That night changed everything. I launched a website. A digital shrine. ElenaWasher.com. I posted her journals. The photos. The necklace. Audio clips of her readings. Her voice echoing across the void of the internet. And then I uploaded the USB contents. Emails. Recordings. Proof. It went viral in 3 days. Hashtags. News interviews. Students marching. And him. He vanished. Just like she did. Only he didn't stay gone. A month later his car was found. Crashed at the edge of a cliff near the state line. No body. Police said he probably ran. I like to think he was running from her voice. Because by then it was everywhere. They played it at campus rallies. At open mics. At vigils. Her voice became a weapon. A haunting. Me. I still walk the woods near campus every fall. Where the pine needles crunch underfoot. where her scent lingers in the air. Sometimes I think I hear her laugh, soft, carried on the wind like a secret. People ask me if I ever got closure, and I tell them no, because closure isn't real. What's real is memory. What's real is rage that doesn't rot. What's real is justice carved out of silence. So if you're listening, if you've ever loved someone who vanished without a trace, let this story be a mirror. Let it haunt you. Because grief is not weakness. It's the beginning of something stronger. And if they ever try to silence you, be louder. Be braver. Be the voice they can't bury.